Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the National Intel Report on this Tuesday, 2nd of June, 2009. I'm John Statmiller. We have Mr. Robbie Noel. Hello, Robbie. Is he there? I can hear him. Robbie!
Yo.
There he is. We've got Chapman coming up here in just a second. He just called in. Hey, you own any stock in GM?
No. Are we on the air?
Yes, we are.
Oh, man. Lucky I cleared that one.
Yeah, it's 4:01:50 right now, my dear friend. Is your atomic clock not working?
No.
Okay.
No, the only stocks I own are gold stocks, John.
Huh? Okay, well, that's
which
good.
are doing very well, I might add.
Yes, he might add.
Yeah, hey, there he is. Hello, Mr. Chapman.
You mean you didn't hear me before?
No, Robbie didn't even know we were live.
Well, sometime Robbie's got to pinch himself to see if he is alive.
Well,
Yes.
I'm glad he didn't slip up.
He's a cadaverian.
What? I don't know what that
A
means.
walking cadaver.
Cadaver, okay. Hey, gold, I read your Chapman report here, your international forecaster. Very clean, very concise. You start out and you dove into the gold situation. And I've read a lot. I know a little bit. I know a little bit about everything. It makes me an absolute not expert on anything. But I read this, Bob, and it's clean, it's concise, it's blowing a lot of the falderall that I'm hearing out there. Oh, geez, Russia wants a world currency and this, that, and the other. China and Russia, boogeyman. But what I've gleaned out of this is not all is well in the Illuminist circles, is it?
No, and I think that was borne out by some of the reports that came back from their meeting. And I think the most outstanding report by Tucker and Estlin was that they are very concerned. Excuse me. They are very concerned that they're going to lose control. In fact, they're right on the verge of it. And they were talking about ending this planned depression to bring everybody to their knees economically and financially so that they could implement world government. And I think they're really, really concerned. Programs like this one, which travel all over the world, are not only, quote, infecting the American public, but the public of the world. I mean, you should see what we get coming in for subscribership from everywhere, saying, yes, we now understand who's doing what to us, and we want it to stop, and we're not going to let it happen here in Colombia or Kazakhstan or France or wherever they're coming from. And you'll notice in the different sections we have letters from people from other parts of the world talking about things that are happening in their country that they don't like. Mm-hmm. So we've got them really unnerved. This Internet and shortwave and satellite and so on is really grabbing them right by the throat.
Good, because we're working on the political side here in the good old U.S. of A. We're doing things that people said couldn't be done. We don't move in the circles the Illuminists do. We're just here to knock the slats out from under them and to prevent them from taking hold in this country. More on this when we get back.
Get ready for Real Talk Radio. You're listening to the National Intel Report with your host, John Statmiller.
Well, folks, you can thank Texas for standing up. Legislative session ends and the NAFTA Turnpike dealt a major setback. In other words, the HB 300 and they little slick little guys, they had a companion bill right behind it. But this thing is dead for 2009. We're sure they're going to try to bring it back next year. Even Rick Perry asked for a special legislative session, and that got nixed. And ironically, we had some Democrats down here that were threatening to filibuster the HB, the House Bill 300, and it's now dead. Now, this is why I'm saying, folks, politically, people have given up on this, and you shouldn't. You know, we know the matrix that's been created. We've been up one side of it and down the other. We've popped it inside out. We've examined it from every angle conceivable. And, yes, we know what the problem is. But we're going to help some of these people be better people and, once again, represent the American people under law, under Constitution. That's what the whole Jekyll Island thing is about. And that's going to be a firecracker because this thing is going to be done right. But here's the good news. The Trans-Texas Corridor is dead, at least for this year. And we're going to kill it next year. So there you have it, folks. I'm telling you what, you're right, Bob. There's a lot of people that are snapping to what's going on. They're not listening to the rhetoric anymore. They're not paying attention to the Barack Obamas. They're paying attention to what has been relegated to the alternative media, you know, that other source, the wingnuts out there. And they've tried their damnedest to suppress us. They've tried their best to put a stake in it. But, hell, I'm seeing 7-8-minute interviews on television now about 9/11 and how the buildings were brought down by explosives. Everything is starting to break loose. Everything is starting to break loose. And people are breaking out of their slumber. They're hurting right now. They don't know the reason why, but now they're asking the question, why do I hurt so bad? So there you have it, folks. Our efforts have not been in vain. Not by a long shot. But we need a little bit more help. We need you out there walking and talking more. Okay? Get involved. If you don't get involved, you're part of that problem. And you're not going to be part of the solution, the restoration of this great country. And Bob Chapman, people like yourself, you've been doing this for a number of years. And by jingo, before you check off this mortal coil, I'm sure you're going to see things that are going to make you smile.
Well, I think we're really giving them a headache. I was just on a station in San Antonio. I don't even know which one it was. I do so many of them. And a fellow came on to ask a question. But he didn't ask a question. He told it the way it was, just like you and I and Robbie would. And the host, who was a Christian station, said, well, Mr. Chapman, what do you think about that? And I said, it's perfect. I couldn't have said it any better. And he said, well, that shows you the quality of people that we have listening to our station.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that. Forget what's been going on out there that I haven't been a part of or helped. But, yeah, now that it's in my face and in everybody else's ears, yeah. Well, that's good. I'm not going to knock that. And people are waking up.
Oh, incidentally, John and Robbie, there's something I got to say here, and that is every station I've been on, and I've been on about 100 of them in the last month, these are Fox, ABC, NBC, etc. And every one of these hosts knows about what's going on, about the Fed, the Illuminati, the power behind government. They all know, but they won't say anything because they're afraid they'll lose their jobs. So they let Bob come on and say it for them.
Well, we've got on the website, if you go to the video section, folks, down at the bottom, Richard Gage on KMPH, Fox 26 in Fresno, California. 7.5 minutes of this guy just getting up there and the talking heads asking a few feeble questions, but the answers were exemplary. And in about 7.5 minutes, this guy, in spite of the two ignorant talking heads, that probably won't keep their job very much longer, and the producer of the news section, but needless to say, it came out clean and unfettered. I mean, the truth is getting out there. And we're now starting to see people, Bob and Robbie, for years and years and years, are sitting there. They were sitting there waiting for the parade to go down the street, and everybody twirling batons and throwing confetti and throwing candy at the children. They were waiting for a big to-do, and no, it wasn't going to happen. What we were doing is infecting their matrix, and they would never admit to anything positive going on in the way of truth and enlightenment out there, ever. But the worm is turning, and here's what we're going to do, Bob. All these radio talk shows that you do, that these hosts that know what's going on, we're going to make it more comfortable for them because more and more people are going to come forth and support these people. They don't need to lose their jobs. They need to do what they're supposed to be doing behind a microphone, not just entertaining people, but keeping them informed. That's what that medium is all about. That's what it's for. You want music? Tune to a radio station. But if you go to a talk station, you expect to hear not psychobabble, people bumping their gums and just selling advertising around the show. You want to hear something pertinent. You want to hear something real that's going on. Guys, I sat and I swear to God, I'm going to quit doing this. I have to do it because of what I do. I have to monitor what the Matrix is doing by way of infotainment, and I can't even stand it anymore. I had to turn it off. It was so ludicrous, unattached to reality, I had to turn it off. I had to shut it off.
Well, you know what George Orwell said, that during times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act.